I've been training for this episode for years. It's tomato, my favorite fruit. We're gonna make a homemade pasta today with a very fresh tomato sauce. Let's see what comes of it. Let's go. Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. Welcome to Struggle Meals. At the peak of their season, the flavor of tomato is unmatched by anything in the world of fruits and vegetables. I truly believe that. That's also when their price is lowest. We can maximize that. You know when the best time to make a fresh tomato sauce is? When they're in season and the cost is low. Not only will you maximize your flavor, but it'll be cheap. If you've got to do this in the off-season, that's when you should find some whole-peeled canned tomatoes or the preserved ones that you made last season. These are Roma tomatoes. They're small, they're sweet, and they're what most producers make tomato sauce out of. So this is the right varietal. So the idea here with the crisscross is that we're gonna temperature shot them. First, we're gonna put them in water for like 15 seconds, and then we're gonna freeze them. And the skin and the flesh on the inside will expand and contract at different rates. It's like an automatic tomato peeler. Here we go. You can see the paleness happening already. Ice bath. You see this? It literally auto-peeled. So this extra step makes a lot of sense, especially if you're doing a lot of tomatoes, because it saves a ton of time. The tomatoes are all peeled, and now it's time to make the best and simplest of all tomato sauces, the pomodoro. You start with some garlic however you like it. I'm a smashy guy. Let's smash some garlic. That's it. There it is. Oil of olive, 3 to 4 tablespoons. Also, we want to make sure that we get this garlic fried. I'm a fan of the angled pan so that I can submerge the garlic fully. And I don't like burn on the bottom and the top looks like it isn't cooking. I do like a little bit of salt right here also. Chop up some tomatoes. One last tip, wait till the end before you really season this with salt, because as it reduces and that moisture goes away, you don't want something that's too salty. Don't ruin it. Do it at the end. I made a ton of tomato sauce here, and I'm gonna put it in the freezer. I am using some plastic containers because water is one of the only things in its solid form that expands, and if we use glass, it could break. It's risky in the freezer. Here we go, big piece of garlic. We got 3 here, these are going in the freezer. I got just 1 for right now, this can live in the fridge. Quantity might not be perfect, but the flavor? We've got a bunch here that we can freeze, save for later. I have some I can keep in the fridge. Now it's time to make the pasta. And we need a pasta that's gonna cradle every little piece of that fresh tomato. I think cavatelli are the perfect shapes for that because they hold stuff. They're like little boats, and we don't need a pasta machine to make them. All we need is a knife. Whenever Italian grandmas are making pasta and you ask them, how did you make that? What are the quantities of flour to water that you used? They always say the same thing. Quanto basta, and it means the right amount. Really, you've got to just use your eyeballs and your hands and feel if it's too wet and feel if it's too dry. But the main ratio is 50% semolina flour to 50% all-purpose flour. Some water, and just start light and use your hands and feel it. All that water's been absorbed. Clearly, this is not gonna turn into a dough. We add the right amount of water more. I like to make it usually too wet, which is exactly what's happened here. Can you see this? It's too wet, but it's staying together. Now we dry it out with flour, and we can just kind of like fold like this. Kneading a dough is really, really important. It's stretching. It's stretching like this. So it's really, I would say like 5 minutes of work probably does the trick. You end up with this. And when you depress it like this, it should spring back nice and slowly. And that means that you've formed some gluten. We're gonna let this rest. How long? The right amount of time. No, but seriously, like anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes. It's up to you. All right, this is all rested. Very nice. What I like to do here is make a giant pasta pancake. And I'm looking for a 1/4 inch thickness. But really, the right thickness. We've got a nice round thing here. So I've got a knife. And just cut a strip, like that. Got a little flour. So you've got your little snake here. You come in with your knife, you cut off a little piece. You're gonna windshield wiper across the top. If you're feeling saucy, you can do it a second time. That's a really nice one. I'll do it again. Cut down, windshield wiper across. One more time. So now you can just crank these out. I'm really digging these cavatelli. Abbiamo fatto tanti cavatelli. We have made many cavatellis. We need these to taste great. There's no seasoning here, remember that. So this is where we make the water taste like the sea. it's looking pretty good. Oh no, I forgot to put a timer on. Just kidding, they float to the top when they're ready. I'm so funny. I'm putting some of our freshly made tomato sauce in the pan, bringing it back up to temp. All right, they're starting to come up. Let's examine this one. Some cooked, some uncooked. We like that. That way it can finish in the sauce. The goal is for the pasta to taste great by itself with nothing on it, and it does. Cavatelli into the sauce with some water. This is the marriage of sauce and pasta. Beautiful. I'm so happy right now. See how calm I get when I'm in the presence of pasta? This is wonderful as is, but I think it'd be even better with some struggle basil. Here we go. I'm gonna top it with extra virgin olive oil because I can. Yes, we started the sauce with olive oil, but that olive oil was cooked. The flavors are completely different. And for $1.66, we have a beautiful bowl of cavatelli with freshly made pomodoro sauce. It doesn't get better than this, ladies and gentlemen. So good, so simple, so fresh. So much better than buying a pre-made sauce. So much better than buying a canned sauce. And we can get awesome texture by making pasta ourselves, which is exactly what we did. All you need is a knife and some ingenuity. Now you've got it. Go forth, do it.